everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday Show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday Show hosts, Terry DeMantis.
Hello.
And Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
How you doing, Jen?
I'm frosty.
Are you as cold as I am, or are you surviving?
I think it was supposed to drop overnight anyway. We kind of had like a snowstorm waking up, and then
she's as cold as ice.
Well, she is a foreigner.
Yeah.
We've been stealing your polar vortex for the last week, so it's been like 10s and 12s and stuff. But today it was like being in Australia. It was 41 degrees Fahrenheit.
So what's that?
It was almost balmy. And tomorrow is going to be 46. And get this, middle of December, Friday, 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey, that's t-shirt weather.
Yep.
In the middle, dead center of December.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. It's crazy. How you doing, Terry?
Hey, I'm all right. Nothing terribly exciting to report.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, in terms of my personal life, I mean.
Oh, okay. Nothing going on in your personal life? You're safe at home, right? That's something to report.
Yeah. I actually have plans for Christmas, which I was not expecting to have. I got invited to my cousin's.
Oh, nice. Are you going to go?
Christmas. Yeah.
You're going to leave your house?
I mean, I met once or twice a year, maybe.
Okay. I thought you would like do a Zoom call.
Yeah. I mean, if that was an option, I might consider that, but it's not.
It'll be nice to see some of the family, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm going. Yeah. I haven't seen these guys in a couple of years, so it'll be good to see them again.
Wow.
It makes it more tolerable when it's people that you already kind of know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like they know you, and you know.
Yeah. This is like my cousins and my auntie and my uncle and people like that.
Do you ever play any games with them? Like.
No, God, no. No.
Had to ask.
Hide and go seek. It's the only one.
Yeah, they haven't found me yet.
Yeah, you've been hiding in your house for years. Yeah, I just saw my brother a couple of weeks ago. I was having that surgery in my arm, so he came up to help me for a couple of days.
Okay.
And just before he came up, the night before he came up, he tripped and landed on his foot, and it hurt him. But he came up anyway. He was using a cane and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
I got a message from him yesterday. His foot's broken.
Oh shit!
Jeez.
He's been walking around on a cane for like a week and a half with a broken foot. I was like, "What?
That's hardcore.
What are you doing?" And he says, "Yeah, it started to hurt more, so I went to the doctor." I was like, "You should have went to the doctor as soon as you got home."
Nah, doctors are for pussies.
He's got a cast on it and a handful of drugs. He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just walk it off.
I'm not ready to laugh. It's just like he was walking around on that for a week. I'm like, man.
My brother's
I'm gonna laugh. I don't have a problem with laughing at that.
My brother's an avid CBD user, so he's already numbing himself to some extent. But he's got the hard drugs. I won't say that while he was up here, I gave him one of the pills that I had for my arm. I won't say that I did that.
No.
So, anyway, before I get into more trouble, how about we say hello to everybody in chat?
Good idea.
Okay. So over on Rumble, we have JB, we have Blue Eyed Scream, we have Kigadam, we have Green Badger, and that might be everyone. It looks like that's everyone. So hello to those people.
We got a few more people over here, so we start with the one-ton hammer. Hello. And we got ourselves a Kigadam. Hello. And Miker6546, and he gave us a silly face and a wave. Hello. And we got a Terry. Hello, Terry.
Hello.
And we got a Blue-Eyed Scream who's followed me onto my Rumble. So thank you, Blue-Eyed Scream, because it's nice to have somebody in my chat actually talk to me when I'm streaming. Hi, Jay Blizza. Blizza, I said that wrong. Hi, Costin. It's been a while, actually. How's Ontario? I'm sorry. Hi, Silver Ravenwing. Hope you're well. And that's it.
Cool.
So I'll go over the topics real quick. We're probably only going to get to one of them. There's only one that I really want to talk about, but Bondi, I don't think I have to explain to everybody what that's about. Nicked, that's about Rob Reiner being killed by his son. And
that's fucked up.
I originally had Wiles, part of the American government, being taken out of context by Vanity Fair. But that seems kind of a boring talk. I really don't know much about it. And I was so turned off by it that I didn't really do any research on it. But I'm going to replace that with Dan Bongino, retired today.
Oh, okay.
And also, while we're running the show, President Trump is on TV right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, of course, you know, he couldn't have done it a couple hours earlier.
No.
So I can talk about what he said. He has to do it. Everybody's competing for the 9 o'clock slot. You know, I had to deal with
seems to be
Christensen and now Trump. Jesus Christ.
I think for obvious reasons, Bondi is going to be like the big topic. So I think start with the Rob Reiner thing, because we can probably lead from that into Bondi.
I have to confess to two things. When I found out that Rob died, I had a little bit of a shock, and I told two jokes. The first one I told was, okay, guys, it's time to light one up for Rob, because he was part of the anti-smoking league. And then when I realized how badly he was murdered by his son, I was like, you know, dude, the cupcake would have been a nicer way to go. Those are all from the same episode, okay? I can't help that I remember... I literally had this image of him from the South Park episode in my head, and then I realized what had happened, and I'm like, ew.
You don't apologize for making jokes. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I still would have, because I deal with tragedy with dark humor.
Yeah. No. I don't think there's anything wrong with making jokes. I mean, you do have to be mindful of your audience. Don't go saying it to members of his family, for instance. But if you're just putting it on Twitter, that's fine.
It's kind of like that. Like, it's one thing in a moment to make a quick joke and then be like, you know, that might have been a little tasteless. Like, at least wait a little bit before you make the dark jokes. But a lot of people react to tragedy like that. Yeah. And we're not going out here being like he deserved it, like the left did.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think it's very noticeable, the difference between how the right reacts to Rob Reiner dying and how the left reacted to Charlie Kirk dying, because quite a distinct difference.
Like, no, I'm not happy he was murdered. You know, like, I actually said this yesterday. Like, if it had been a natural death, like he died in his sleep, my joke would have been probably a little bit darker, because even with how you die, there is a level of like, oh, you know, because everybody dies. That's inevitability for everybody currently here, you know. But I will take a step back if, you know, when knowledge of how it happened clicks in, like, oh, okay, that's a little, like I said, like I joked Terry earlier, like, am I being a little too insensitive? Yes, you might be being a little too insensitive. Wait a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't wish death on anybody. Like, you know, we're all going to die and make our way there eventually. But I would have rather to have him die peacefully, surrounded by people who loved him.
Yeah, but like I don't have a problem with people making jokes about people dying, as long as it's not like reveling in the death. Like, if people want to make suicide jokes about Kurt Cobain, or balcony jokes about Trevor Moore, or, you know, like, whatever. That's as long as it's just jokes, I don't really have a problem with it.
Hi, Johnny. But no, like, I don't think it's even in our nature, really. Like, we've spent years watching the left basically tear down everybody who died, including people on their own side. Like, I never made fun of Ginsburg when she died. I still celebrate her life. Like, I don't have to agree with her politics to think she did something kind of amazing. Yeah, you know, but they did.
I don't think, unless someone is actively evil, I'm not going to be glad that they're dead. And by actively evil, I mean like directly like shot someone or like murdered someone. So like, I'm glad that the like terrorists that, you know, did the Bondi Beach thing, I'm glad if they die. But if it's just some politician that I disagreed with, I'm not going to be like celebrating their death. That's insane.
I'm kind of the bad guy in all of this because, well, I mean, there are a couple of perspectives. If you look at how the left reacted when Trump put out his Truth Social post slamming Rob Reiner, or the right, everybody pretty much on the right condemned it. Of course, everybody on the left did. Because because that's correct. He shouldn't have said that. He should not have said that.
Yes.
But on the other hand, if Trump was killed, how would Rob Reiner react?
Well, I will defend Rob Reiner on this one because he did say that the reaction to Charlie Kirk's murder was disgusting. He was opposed to the celebrating of Charlie Kirk's death. So I don't think he would be celebrating Trump's death, or at least not publicly.
Right. At least not publicly.
I mean, like whatever he thinks in his own private life, I can't comment on. But
I think he would have.
He did say that he didn't like the reaction to Charlie Kirk's murder.
I think he would have posted that our democracy is safe and it was probably the best for the country and all that kind of stuff. More rhetoric.
Yeah, but I don't like. He wouldn't have been like the people who said do Matt Walsh next. He wouldn't have been one of those.
No, I don't think so. I think he would have treated Trump differently than Charlie. If Charlie was on the, I guess you could say Charlie was on the right.
Yeah.
But only minimally, because he believed in some things that were on the left, kind of like I do. That's kind of why I identified with him. He believed in things like Social Security.
Well, most people have a combination of right and left beliefs. No, very few people are just 100% one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's also, if you break down what Trump actually said on that post, like it was bad timing. Like I think that's his major ill with that is he made something that wasn't about himself when you're talking about somebody being murdered.
Yeah.
But what he actually said in that post, Rob had TDS. He had TDS. Like, do I think it was okay for him to post it? No, not the day of the murder. You don't post your personal opinions the day of somebody's death. You would hope that he's I'm not giving him excuses. I'm just stating the facts. He's an older guy from an older generation where his generation is way more blunt.
Yeah. No, I do think it was crass of Trump to post what he did when he did. I don't think that was a good look from Trump.
Certainly was not a good look.
No,
I support the guy, pretty much, but when he makes an obvious mistake like this, I can't tap dance for him.
Of course, yeah.
He's got to face it.
And I do think it's important that people criticize him because the guy might be a narcissist. That doesn't mean that he knows everything. So if he's doing something wrong, he needs to have a little bit of a backlash, being like, okay, that was a little bit. How else is he supposed to respond? I couldn't imagine doing what he's doing right now, and yeah, he is a very blunt person. He probably should have better people watching his social media.
Yeah.
Call the man a fascist for 5 years and then expect him to be gracious when an enemy dies. I don't know.
After being shot at, after having people who support him get murdered.
I don't think he had to do anything. He could have just not said anything, and I think that would have been fine.
That's what he did with Dick Cheney. Yeah. When Dick Cheney died, he just didn't say anything. When the White House was asked about it, his reply was, "We're aware."
Yeah. And I don't have a problem. I think that would have been a perfectly suitable response to Rob Reiner dies. Trump doesn't really want to say anything. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's probably what he should have done.
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed wire, I want to hold him accountable too, because I'd like you guys to do better, and I think he's the best shot you have at the moment, but that doesn't mean he's not still fucking human. And I know the position of president somehow means that you have to be above human. That's never going to happen.
His best line should have been, "The loss of life is always a tragedy," and left it at that. And that would have been like, oh, okay, that's reasonable. But I can't second guess Trump.
No.
He doubled down on it too, so
he might have really.
I think it makes him look bad, but I mean, at the same time, that's what people expect from Trump. So I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's just Trump doing Trump. So you kind of have to expect to get something like that. Maybe not quite that bad, but I mean, calling Wiles a retard.
That's fine.
Well, it's accurate. That's probably why.
Yeah.
The guy really is a retard. He even said it on the air. I'm a knucklehead. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You're a retard. So
yes, I do like the word retard. I'm glad it's making a comeback.
A return, I know. Should never have gone away. It did.
I agree.
It never specifically had a mentally handicapped person underneath it. It didn't. So this idea that retard just means you're picking on mentally handicapped people.
Yeah,
I'm like, no. I think some mentally handicapped people are smarter than the left. So no.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
people are just
retard just means slow. Like it
means backward. You retard timing on a car. You move it backwards.
Well, no. Well, like, but if you say someone, if someone's education, like their development was retarded, that means it was slow. Like they didn't develop as fast as a normal person is supposed to. So if their development is retarded, it was slowed down. That's all it means. But then people started, calling people slow, and then like retarded is just another word for slow. And then
I think people are too sensitive.
They absolutely are.
Because when it comes down to, I'm disabled. If somebody called me a cripple, I wouldn't even think twice about it. Like, yeah, I am. So what?
Yeah, of course.
It just bounces. It doesn't even affect me. It's kind of like, yeah, I've accepted that at least for right now, until physical therapy gets me back up on my feet. But yeah, same thing with other people who were in this space. Like Monkey, he's the same person. If you say he's crippled, he'll be like, yeah, I know. It doesn't hurt.
No, I don't even think it should offend anyone. It's just like an observation of reality.
Yes, exactly.
I could understand some of it changing when it came to the autism community, because technically they do fall under the category that back in like the 70s would have been mentally handicapped, because it is.
Yeah, of course.
They started changing a lot of language in that category, because not everybody is like nonverbal. When it comes to autism, there's a lot of categories where a person can almost run circles around an army. Not always, but sometimes.
I think so. The softening of language in general is something that I disagree with quite strongly.
Well, I don't think they should have softened it. I think they should have clarified categories. Like if you're an autistic kid, but you're not stupid, being classified as stupid is just all on its own kind of dumb. That doesn't mean they're not held back by certain things, but like when you're in that category, your problems are gonna level you in the normie category.
And Tyrion chat says, as a black man, he's apparently disabled, so I have to be nicer to him. I am being nicer to you. You don't want to know what I would be like if I wasn't being nicer to you.
Remember when PTSD was called shell shock?
Yes, I do. That's the George Carlin bit that I was thinking of with regards to softening language.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole thing has been messed up since they started just not classifying things properly, because like retard still classifies for most normies. I used to do that. My first job, it was great entertainment to watch people walk into the wrong door, even though one said open and the other one had nothing on the other side.
Yeah.
And they run into the wrong door, and I'm like, you can't read open? Is it a hard word?
That's my famous.
I'm sure it is.
It's my famous quote from Alex Jones. He was on Rogan, I think, and he says, "I'm a little retarded."
Yeah, I like that.
Made me laugh.
But yeah, no, I actually knew a retarded kid from the Philippines who knew like 4 different languages because he was from the Philippines. His only thing is that he didn't always understand the social interactions. So he was unintentionally the funniest kid I ever knew because, you know, a Karen would get mad at him and he wouldn't understand. He just had no idea that she was mad. He didn't know why she was mad. He was just pleasantly trying to make her day happy, and she'd get more angry.
JB in chat says, "What about hysteria?" I believe that's actually derived from the Greek word for uterus, which I think is very funny.
Yeah, no.
Basically, it's a woman's problem. It's someone's hysterical, they're acting like a woman.
Some of the things our medical community used to do to take care of women, it's just, if you read about it, it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck were they doing? You know? So, so Nick, Rob's kid, has been charged with the murder, and the method of discharge was stabbing. He stabbed him to death.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. To kill your own parents is really fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, stabbing?
Yeah, I mean, you got to get up close and personal. You don't even have the distance of the gun.
That's a crime of passion, because it requires you to be face to face as opposed to a gun from across the room.
Yeah, and in close proximity as well.
Yeah. So
they also described it. He stabbed them so many times that it was hard to recognize their faces.
Jeez.
That's rough.
Yeah, they were trying to make excuses for the guy, like, oh well, he's homeless and he's on drugs all the time, and I'm like,
even if that's true, that doesn't give you permission to murder people.
No, yeah, so basically.
Why was he homeless and on drugs? Why wasn't Rob taking care of him, bringing him in the house, getting him treatment?
He might have done all those things. You know, sometimes the kids get all this help and they just keep going back to what it is that they're doing, and then you end up giving up on it. I don't know. Like, I don't know the whole situation, but it looks like something where like they've tried to help him, but
I guess he thought he would.
Some people are just beyond help. Like some people can't be helped.
I guess he thought he would inherit their money. But I don't think killing somebody gets you their money.
No, and it doesn't.
Generally not.
It wouldn't, because it really depends on like, legally he would have had a will at his age. Yeah. Legal wills are not based off of just your kids.
Well, no, I mean,
you know,
I think if you assume that there's no will, then there is like a system in place that like determines who gets the estate. But I do think that if you are the one that caused the death of the individual, I'm pretty sure that should exclude you from being a recipient of their estate.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Hollywood stars that I've kind of watched over the last year, when they had issues with their kids, some of them write them out of their wills. You know, they're like, I can't help you. None of my fame is going to help you. My money isn't going to help you. You're just going to booze it all away, or you know, whatever method. And they write them off, and they have issues. You know, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I know businessmen work really hard. Sometimes they're not at home, but some of the Hollywood kids are just as messed up in the head as their parents. And I don't know if it's an entitlement thing, or if it's just drugs, or it's the Hollywood itself looks like a demon city, to be honest, from an outsider.
That was my grandfather's favorite trick. He would always threaten to like cut his kids out of the will, and it didn't make him very popular. Like, he would do it all the time. And the funny thing is, he didn't sign his will properly, so it all went to my grandmother anyway. Like, his will was completely invalid because he didn't sign it properly. So I just thought it was funny that he wielded it like a weapon his whole life, and then at the end it didn't even matter because none of it was valid.
Did anybody challenge him?
Well,
did anybody say, "Well, write me out of your will"? I don't give a fuck.
My auntie refused to, because she was like a executor. She refused to sign the thing to allow the estate to go through. So like my grandfather's estate was like held up for something like 10 years because she just refused to sign the paperwork. But when my grandmother died, suddenly she was a lot more willing to sign things. So it got resolved in the end.
Well,
and Justin says, I thought you were going to say he threatened to stab people to death. I wouldn't put it past him, but fortunately, the most I ever saw him do was punch my father while my father was on dialysis.
Jeez, that's brutal.
That is, and I lost a hell of a lot of respect for him. That's why I'm not exactly painting him in the most pleasant of lights. But yeah, he was not a nice man, but you know, he different time, I guess.
And then TUER has one of those stories where like sometimes your parents die early or because of something that is unplanned. And I can't remember your situation, but sometimes you don't have a chance to make that will because you think you're going to live longer. And goodness, I'm in my 40s. I haven't even done that, and I know I should, but like I have nothing.
Absolutely, I've got a will. I've had a will for like a decade.
I do not have a will.
It's just something that you really should do. If it's important to you who gets your stuff, then get a will. Like
I don't really have anybody to give things to because I don't have any kids. You know, so automatically.
In my case, I'm just giving it to my siblings. It's just like split it 3 ways between my siblings.
Automatically, both my houses will go to my brother. He's only living relative. Things like my computer and car and all the other assets I have, the property and stuff like that. I'd have to write a will up and part that out to people because there's people I would want to have these. My brother wouldn't want my computer or my car.
Right.
I know he doesn't. But I know people who would that are friends of mine, so I could do that.
There you go. Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea to have one. Just in general, if you're like over the age of I don't know, like 30, it's something to consider because you know it could happen at any time. So you do want to be prepared if this is something that matters to you, like who gets your stuff.
Well, he's my brother is 7 years older than me. He's 70.
That's getting up there.
Yeah, I don't know if he even has a will himself.
Yeah, I mean, I would advise him to get one, but obviously,
yeah,
it's up to him.
I should have one too.
Yeah, for sure.
Go to a lawyer and have one drawn up.
And Johnny in chat says, "I don't think punching someone on dialysis is a generational issue." Probably not, but I don't know. I think the way he was raised is probably very different than how someone would be raised. Like I was born in 1980. He was born in like 1910. So there's a bit of a gap there.
My dad used to use the old and Goldie. I brought you into this world. I can take you out. That was his big threat.
Yeah. Frosted says, "I don't care who gets my computer as long as they burn the hard drive."
Basically, I was like, so what juicy memes are you trying to hide there, sir?
Yeah. But yes, it's about the halfway mark. You should probably move to the main topic, I suppose. The Bondi attack.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. I need to set up the whatchamacallit for tonight.
The music poll.
Music poll. So I'll do that in just a second. You guys can.
All right.
Well, I watched Bearing's video on it, which was nice because between Bearing and Sugar Tits, they can make an unpleasant thing more easy to tolerate.
I do like both of them.
I watched videos, like I watched the news reports on it too, so it's not like I didn't have prior heads up on what happened, but no, Bearing and Sugar Tits makes it more listenable because it's a horrible tragedy regardless of what you do. And shame on your government. If they start shaming you for Islamophobia, you go to their house and you poop on their front door.
Yeah.
They like poop a lot, right? So maybe someday they'll respect the people who live there. If you just, you know what, since you like people who poop on your beaches, we'll poop on your door.
There you go. I mean, that'll get the message across, I suppose.
Well, smell bad, you know.
Yeah. No, obviously it's incredibly bad. First of all, that it happened, but also the police response was atrocious.
Yeah, they're what, 4 minutes away from the beach?
Yeah, and I've heard conflicting reports as to how long it took the police to arrive. I've seen people on the right say it took like 20 to 30 minutes, and people on the left insist it was closer to 10. But that's still a long time to be shooting and uninterrupted. So
it's also the videos coming back of the police force itself. And I'm sorry, ladies, you don't always make good cops. Lady cops are only really effective when they're working with female. Say you're bringing in somebody who's done the no-no and they happen to be female. Sometimes the female cops are better when they're dealing with those kind of perpetrators. But when it comes to,
I'm going to say not even that. I think if women want to be cops, they do desk work. I don't think they should be on the field.
Well, I don't think they're effective. I think a lot of the times natural instincts kick in and you don't want to get shot at. I'm sorry, but if your job is to get shot at, I'm sorry that's scary, but that's kind of how it is.
Yeah, you shouldn't do the job. If you can't, if you're not qualified like physically to handle situations that police frequently get in, and most women aren't, like they're just biologically they're not built that way, then you shouldn't be allowed to be a police officer. I don't think women should be firefighters either, or anything that requires that kind of musculature.
Bulk strength.
Yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to do that unless you can demonstrate you have the strength capable of doing it, and very, very few women have that kind of strength.
There's a video I saw where it was one guy in a black outfit and two female police officers, and he was kind of scrawny. And the women seemed a little bit more bigger than him, and neither one of them could subdue him. He was just hand fighting and keeping them away, and they could do nothing. They tried tackling him. He got back up. They couldn't keep him down, and eventually he just ran away from him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Silver Raven Wing says, also, if you're 300 plus, you don't belong as a cop. If you're 300 plus, you've probably been dead for over 200 years. So I don't think that's a pressing concern.
300 pounds.
Yeah, if you're a big fat ass, then no, you shouldn't be a police officer. Like, unless it's a desk job, like I said. If you're going to be like on the street cop, then no, you can't.
Well, I can see you being like a bailiff or something like that, where you're very unlikely to run into any real trouble.
Yeah, but anything that's going to be like interacting with criminals,
if you have to run to get to them, yeah. I mean, 300 pounds, you can find a guy that's 280 who's a gym bro, who's in perfect shape, but yeah, 300 pounds of lard ass, yeah, different story.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't think I should be a cop. I am completely out of shape. I don't have the strength or the stamina to be in that line of work. I just don't. So I shouldn't be a cop. Most women shouldn't be cops. It's something that should be reserved for a very specific type of usually man.
It's a level of narcissism. Like, yes, I'd like to think that I'm a brave person when it comes to an emergency, but then there's reality. Then there's reality. And what is the situation? I'm going to cower if I'm getting shot at. Unless I have my own gun and I can shoot back, I'm going to cower, which is what most people do.
Brutal honesty, even if I have my own gun, I'm probably going to be scared shitless if I'm in a gunfight.
Basically.
So I would be a terrible police officer. I should not be a cop. That's why I'm not one.
I might even be worse because, like, to a certain degree, you have to be able to hold your gun. Yeah. Like, you can't just go pew, pew, pew because you're scared. I might go pew, pew, pew because I'm scared.
That's also a problem, yeah.
And you can't have that with police either. You can't just be, like, oh, this guy's kind of, you're not the judge and the jury. You're just a cop. So you have to have the ability to handle a situation where, yeah, they could be violent and still hold yourself because you can't just shoot them.
Yeah, no, I think you should go through a lot of training to be able to stay calm under that sort of intense pressure. because yeah, I'm just tell you straight up, I couldn't do it. I'm not the right kind of person to be a police officer.
I don't have the temperament. I would just start shooting right away.
Yeah.
Give me your license. No, bang, 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 bang. You know?
I'd probably be the opposite. I'd probably be like the guy that didn't shoot the terrorist, like the guy that
on the Bondi beach, yeah.
Fruit vendor.
You could see the thoughts going through his mind when he's holding that gun. Like you could tell that, like, to a certain degree, he probably did want to shoot, but at that time, you got to think, like, what's actually important to you. Like, yes, you want to protect everybody. That's nice, but you have to protect everyone in your own life too. And
the other thing is that in the situation and sitting at home is two wildly different things. Like, I can say that the morally correct thing to do is shoot the prick in the face. That is, in my opinion, the morally correct course of action. Actually doing that in the moment is very difficult.
Well, not only that, but this guy's an older fruit vendor living in a country that severely restricts guns. Has this guy even held a gun in his hand before? Probably not. Yeah, and does he have?
I believe they confirmed that he hadn't.
Yeah, does he have the experience or the ability to properly shoot it, to cock it, and load a bullet? And he probably has no clue. That's why he just set it down on a tree. Like, I don't know what to do with this thing. I'll just put it over here.
Yeah.
But the problem is, because he did not do that, something that would definitely have happened in the United States, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Because he put it down, that guy got away, picked up a gun, and started shooting again. Yeah. So.
No, like, I agree. Like, the morally correct thing to do is shoot the terrorist in the face, make sure he's dead. But heat of the moment, that's not an easy thing to actually go through with unless you've had some sort of training to like steel your nerves and like actually.
Supposedly the pictures of the women were done after they were already neutralized. Okay. It wasn't during the actual event that the women were like, "Oh, I'm going to hide behind my car and I'm going to hide behind this tree," and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I've heard that because, like, the left obviously wants to paint a very different picture to the right. So I've heard that no, they were just doing crowd control. They weren't like cowering in fear. They were like assigned to a different part of the beach. They had a different job. They weren't tasked with taking down the terrorists. It wasn't like cowardice. It was, you know. So I don't know the truth, but I've heard both claims.
What really makes me laugh about all this, being an American and dealing with guns and all that, is that they were stopped by a guy with a handgun.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, you have to have 15 snipers with AR-15s to take down somebody like this." And a guy stood behind a tree and shot him dead with a fucking handgun. Killed one and almost killed the other with a handgun.
Yeah.
It's all about how you aim and whether or not you've got a steady hand and if you can hit them with a decent shot.
Sure. A handgun will kill just as easily as a rifle.
Of course. It's still a bullet.
Yeah.
They kill more people.
Yeah, in the United States, we have a handgun issue because all of our deaths are all by handguns, especially with gangs and shit and suicides. Yeah, not many people use a rifle for suicide.
No. The reason that there's more deaths by handgun is just there's more handguns, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're going to kill yourself, what are you going to pick?
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So I understand the idea. Oh, you guys have mass shootings, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you look, speaking of Bering, he put out a tweet showing all of the mass shootings that happened after Port Arthur.
Yeah.
And there was more than just a couple.
Yeah.
So what gets me is that the Australian government touted the rules that they made after Port Arthur as the solution. These are the things that we will do to prevent this. And then it didn't prevent anything. And now they're doing the same thing again. They're going to put more rules in place that aren't going to fix it. That's the big problem I have, even with the United States.
No, see, the thing you got to remember is the government sucks, and anything they do will fail. They do zero things.
Make it worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No. I have the same problem with America. When somebody says, I want common sense gun laws. Okay, tell me what your common sense gun law is. Well, no automatic weapons. Well, we don't actually have automatic weapons. Try again. Well, let's get rid of all the semi-automatics. Well, that gets rid of virtually every gun because they're all semi-automatic.
I've had that same discussion with my mother because she was saying, well, they should just ban the semi-automatics. And it's like, well, I don't think you know what semi-automatic means because
it's always
basically every gun.
It's always somebody who has no fucking clue about guns who's yelling the loudest about what should be done with guns.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
It's also the minute they got rid of the guns, you guys ended up with a machete problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the UK did.
That's England.
Yeah.
The UK did, but so did the Australians. They like the last year they've been trying to go after knives because they have knife crimes now too. And it's almost like it's linked to the same shit.
But basically, if you get rid of guns, people will find a different way to kill each other.
Yeah. Even after Port Arthur, when they did gun buyback, people gave in their own guns, then went out and bought new guns.
Yeah.
For the money they got back. There's 4 million guns in Australia right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not as pro-gun as most Americans are because I don't have experience with guns and they kind of scare me. So I can understand like wanting, like licensing and like I understand the thought process behind wanting these things because I think guns are scary. But I do think on a fundamental level, humans do have a right to self-defense. And I do think that needs to be protected.
It's also the joke of the whole thing. Like, this isn't about Australians with guns. It wasn't Australians with guns shooting people on that beach. They keep hiding behind the same problem. And if you point it out, they're like, you're just a Islamophobe. Like, no, I'm against you guys bringing in so many people when we know you aren't vetting people. They had these people, they knew about them. They knew about them for months.
Let me address something Tyr said in chat. I want common sense gun laws. I want everyone to be properly trained using guns. Does that include school shooters? You want them properly trained?
Yes.
Oh, they're going to be much more lethal.
Yeah.
Well, that or they'll realize that there's other things other than guns.
No, but I think the reasoning is, sure, the school shooters will be more lethal, but the kids will be better equipped to stop them before they do anything, sort of thing. I think that's the reasoning behind everyone should be.
Kids? You mean like 12-year-olds? I don't think they're allowed to have guns.
Well, I mean, that would be part of the training. Give them a gun.
At 12?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just...
What should happen is the teachers should have a gun in class so that they can defend the children. If they're qualified to do that.
I'm obviously mucking around, but no, I mean, I don't know how to solve these problems.
Yes, that's exactly the same problem everybody has. No one knows how to solve it.
No, of course not, but I'm not going to pretend that I do. Obviously, I don't know the solution.
They will. Common sense gun laws.
Yes.
But no, I'm tired of our government's hiding behind gun laws when they know what the problem fucking is.
Yeah, it's people.
It is people. It's this blind thinking that you can just bring in everybody and everyone's just kumbaya.
See, I was tempted to say something, but then I remembered that we're on YouTube, so I didn't think anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, half of my rage at this is because, like, and yes, it comes from being online a little bit too much, is the excuse that this was acceptable because they were going after Jewish people. And somehow, some way, it's racist to point out that, yeah, your governments are bringing in people from the Middle East who might actually be shitty people. Some of them are good people. I'll acknowledge that. I like some of them.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a bad Muslim. I'm in Australia. I have to say this.
But, like, one of the interviewees on the beach was a guy from Israel. And that's all it takes for people to be like, oh, well, they deserve it. I kind of wish that guy had had a gun, because you know what? He would have known what to do.
It's very inconsiderate of those horrible Jewish victims to have stained our wonderful Muslim brethren's bullets with their dirty Jew blood.
Yikes!
We are appalled at this behavior. If they weren't dead, they would be arrested. So now that I'm safe from the Australian government, you may continue.
There was a video that came out where it had leaders of the Muslim community condemning the what happened on Bondi Beach.
Yeah.
And did you know it turned out it's AI?
Of course it is. No, they're not actually going to condemn it.
I was like, I mean, here you go now. AI is getting to the point where you can't tell if it's real or not. It looked real.
Yeah.
But it was all
the
AI.
fact that they're condemning anything related to killing Jews should tell you that it's fake.
Yeah. But it was all by respected, or at least respectable looking people who looked like they would actually do that. They weren't just people. They were officials. People who you would expect them to, regardless of what they personally think, they're going to, but
maintain appearances. Yeah.
Yeah. And no, it was AI. I was like, man, that one caught me. I'm usually pretty good at spotting AI, and I was like, that kind of caught me. So granted,
I will agree. AI is getting very, very good.
Yeah.
Gone are the days where you just count the fingers.
I will say that I saw the video on my phone, which is tiny. So
yeah, adds to it.
Well,
Badger says that. Go ahead.
Well, for other things that happened this week that the left is not going to acknowledge at all, the Saudis, you know how they deal with these people? They put them to death.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the terminology, but criminals that are being put to death. Yeah, 350 of them. And I watched this on Nux. I admit I watched it on Nux. When he did the grok to find out how many of them are from Pakistan, 348.
Wow.
Because they've been open. I don't believe the Saudis on a lot of shit because they're shady too. They have their own business that they're running. But when they're flat out telling you, no, you have to deal with these people because they'll keep ruining you. And we're just like, oh, we're better than the Saudis. No, we're not. We're less than them because they at least deal with people. Do I like that they killed 348 people?
To be tolerant. You have to be tolerant of the invading army trying to murder everyone. Don't
they're calling it suicidal empathy.
Yeah, but it's not empathy. It's not actually empathy. It's performative empathy where they want to be seen as empathetic, but they don't actually have any real empathy behind it.
Eventually we're going to get to a breaking point. It's just, it feels like every time something bad like this happens, we're already at a breaking point. And I'm like, when are we going to get there?
And apparently Frosted is against people from England visiting the United States because he says if your country is over 20% Muslim, sorry, the border's closed.
Yeah.
No English people allowed. Soon to be no Australians allowed. No French people allowed, though I think you probably support that even if they weren't Muslims.
It's just, it's tiring.
It is. I believe fatigue is the word people like to use.
It's like the guy on Bondi Beach. Yeah, he was Muslim. I don't mind that Muslims are coming over. It's just, if you know that one's normal and the other one might not be, don't let the one who might not be in, okay? Stick to the ones who are kind of normal.
At least don't give them a gun.
I just say get out. No, I just say don't let any of them in. I'm sure you're a lovely guy. Go be lovely in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, no, I'm tired of them making it out to be like it's a gun problem when your knife problem is also because of the immigration.
No, I think I mean I was joking about what Frost had said, but I do agree. I mean, don't let them in. I would even go further. Is like if your country's name does not begin with Australia, you are not welcome. You come away. Yeah, so I think we basically need to like negative immigration. We need to kick people out and like not let new ones in.
Why is Western countries the only countries that have to import Muslim people?
Because they're the ones that have been brainwashed into this suicidal.
Why doesn't China and Japan and all of those people? Why aren't they forced to accept immigrants?
Well, the thing is, they would try, but those countries haven't been brainwashed the way that Western nations have. So, like Western, like especially like the liberal side of Western nations, they genuinely believe they have an obligation. Like in like Japan, they don't believe that. They think, no, Japan is for the Japanese. Get the fuck out if you aren't Japanese.
Right.
Whereas the liberals will be like, no, it's immoral to not let every random loser that wants to enter our country in. Like, no.
It's also they did try with Japan. That's kind of why they had such a flip with their last election. They've been trying to work on bringing in immigration, and basically the people have been looking at what's been happening to our side of the West. Like they're looking at Canada, they're looking at the US, they're looking at England, and they're seeing, so you've destroyed your own home.
Yep.
Let's not do that.
Smart.
Like they flipped the last election because the immigrants they were bringing in were harassing their women. They were raping them. And so they're like, no, we don't want any more of you.
To be fair, Jen, those were rapes of peace.
Yeah. Now with China, China, on the other hand, well, if you try to force them to take anybody, they will put them into work camps and they'll have to work for 10 years to pay for their housing, and they won't get paid very well. It might actually be slave labor, and they might use them to test products on. I'm just talking about the Uyghurs.
I think it's very much get out of my country. We don't want them. Get rid of them. Go back to. It's like they say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's immigration policy.
It's one of those things where, like, for everywhere that I dislike China, there's times where they do stuff where I'm like, I kind of get that.
Yeah. It's like, get the fuck out. Go away.
Yeah, for as much as I hate authoritarianism, there are times where I think to myself, someone just has to say no, and that's it.
I think the rolled-up newspaper that you used to like train dogs with, just pop them on the nose. No immigration. Bad government.
That's probably the thing I hate about Biden the most, is what he did with immigration, because that really fucked us over.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I understand the economy and all that kind of stuff, but I think immigration really just destroyed us.
Well, I mean, all of those problems stem from the immigration.
Well, that's the thing. You were fixing your economy. By fixing your economy, you open up the doorway for people to... Women nest. Even in the US, we nest. So when you can't nest, the last thing you do is think, oh, I should produce babies. Somehow in the Western world, we've gotten to this point where, like, we're either too comfortable or things are just not working out enough that you like. I started hearing this stuff in my 20s. Do you really think it's a good idea to bring a kid into this world, Jen? Like, look at the home that you're in. Like, yes, it's a beautiful place, but are your kids going to have a job? Are they going to get to where they want to be? And now I'm like, maybe that's the problem, is we haven't focused on ourselves, so we could get there.
And apparently Stephen Crowder had a good idea. To immigrate to America, you have to draw Muhammad. I say make him eat a bacon cheeseburger as well, just be extra safe. But yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah. It's also the other lie that they keep doing is, immigrants built this country. I'm like, you mean the white ones?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't say that. It's the wonderful brown people who did everything good in the world.
You mean the Italians?
Thinking otherwise.
You mean the Italians?
Well, no, not them.
Oh, okay. Other brown people, okay.
The original immigrants were Europeans, and then they brought in the Irish and the Italians. And they kind of treated them bad, too, for a while, kind of subhuman. And then finally they brought in the Africans. And that didn't last very long. Both England and America stopped that pretty quick. We had a whole war. If you want to talk about reparations, how about the lives of everybody in the South?
That doesn't count.
Yeah. So I wish people knew more about history.
Yeah,
America's,
that would be nice, but that's not going to happen.
America's slaves, America's slaves. Actually, the first slaves were Muslims. They enslaved the Slavic people. That's where the word slave comes from.
That's a hate fact. I think I'm going to have to report to the Australian government.
That's my history. My mother came from Czechoslovakia, Slavic. Right there. So I want my fucking reparations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And Frosted is saying, are you guys going to rename it Haji Beach?
Oh, boy.
I wouldn't be surprised, but it looks like I guess he wasn't able to say it. YouTube censored him, so he's got to use the little @ sign. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they build a mosque there.
You know, for as much as I like bacon, I don't really like them on hamburgers. It's a clash of taste. The bacon kind of overrides the taste of the beef.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Just never really. I know people are like, bacon, right? You know, kind of deal. But I like a burger to have a certain consistency, and the crunch of bacon and a strong taste of bacon really take away from the bacon. I'm a purist, though. I mean, that's true in everything I say. I don't like pepperoni on pizza. I like plain pizza. I don't like chocolate ice cream. I like vanilla ice cream because vanilla is just vanilla, or chocolate is just vanilla with an additive to make it taste like chocolate. You know. It's not...
I think vanilla is actually like really, really, really expensive. So most of what is like vanilla ice cream is not actually vanilla. It's very like some artificial flavoring that's somewhat similar to vanilla.
Well, there was a controversy about this not too long ago. A woman on Twitter was like, look at this. It's not even ice cream. And she pulls it out after it's been sitting for, a day and it's not melted. And I was like, well, look, it was Breyers. I said, well, look at the front of the box. What does it say in the box? It says frozen dairy treat.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually say ice cream. Now, Breyers does have ice cream. You can go buy a carton of ice cream from them. And if you take that and put it on the counter, it melts in 15 minutes. I mean, if I get Breyers ice cream and I put it in a bowl, by the time I get back to my table to sit down and eat it, half of it's melted already.
Yeah.
So I mean, because it's actually ice cream. But if you buy something that says frozen dairy dessert or something along that lines, that's not ice cream.
It's also heinous. They're gross.
It is gross.
They are not ice cream. It's like a weird soy byproduct.
Silver Raven Wing says, "Did you know you can get drunk on vanilla extract?" I did not.
Yep.
I've never had like actual vanilla. I don't think
it wouldn't be a pleasant way to go about it.
Probably not.
No.
Well, Breyers ice cream has vanilla bean. Mm-hmm. Doesn't actually have extract in it. Usually extracts for cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, you can use it in ice cream, but like you're gonna mix that in with like sugar and stuff. So like,
but what I'm saying is like vanilla, like actual vanilla, is really expensive. So if you're seeing like vanilla ice cream that costs like not like that's cheap, it's not actually vanilla. It's like some artificial flavoring that somewhat resembles vanilla, because actual vanilla is like very rare and very expensive.
Oh, hang on a second. EURA. I'm looking up Breyers natural vanilla online, and the ingredients, nothing but fucking pop-ups. Jesus Christ. Decline. No, I don't want to do that. Stop. Leave me alone. Go away.
Well, welcome to the internet.
A container of Breyers natural vanilla is $4.67. That's pretty damn cheap. And their ingredients are exactly milk, cream, sugar, skim milk, tartar gum, natural flavor. Contains milk. That's their entire thing.
Yeah.
So
They don't quite specify that the natural flavor is vanilla, though. So it could be.
yeah, I have no idea what natural flavor is. It could be anything. I think that's how they get away with stuff, is they just say natural flavor, but
Yeah.
it also is low on their list of ingredients. And the lower it is in the list of ingredients, the less of it there is.
Yeah. Like I said, it's very expensive, so they're not going to add much to it.
You don't really need to anyway. Like most recipes that have vanilla extract, it's a small amount because it's a strong flavor.
It is. But it also makes sense that like milk and like sugar are going to be like the main things that you're going to find in ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you look at the front of the Breyers container, in the bottom left corner, there's kind of a stripe that goes around the left-hand side of the container, and inside it tells you what it is. And the one I'm looking at says ice cream. So it's actually real ice cream as opposed to a frozen dairy dessert or a frozen dairy treat.
That's why I kind of go with Chapman's when I get a chance to. They're expensive, but it's always cream with them. They're expensive, like they are.
Yeah.
But it's worth it if you're going to get
pay for it.
Well, yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, that's what a treat is, right? Like, I mean, if you're going to get a treat, obviously I don't have money for that all the time, so
well, I mean, that's what makes it a treat.
Yes, and then you stay for it a little bit longer. Well, I use ice cream in my coffee, so maybe not me, but it's a nice treat. It's really nice.
I don't eat much ice cream now that I think about it. It's just not something that I tend to want very often.
Can't even find. Oh, here's Chapman's premium ice cream. And this is in a pint instead of a quart. And it is $8.
Yep.
So significantly more.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wait till they go on sale. Like they have sales just like everybody else. So like, if they do like a, buy one, get one or something.
Yeah.
I'll rationalize a little bit.
Let me read out the ingredients real quick from Chapman's. And you can compare it to Breyers. Fresh cream, sugar, glucose, modified milk ingredients, mono and diglycerides, carob bean gum, cellulose gum, guar gum, carrageenan, vanilla bean powder, Tahitian vanilla extract, and natural flavor. May contain soy, peanut, tree nuts, wheat, and egg.
There you go. That's
you can't escape the soy.
Speaking of screaming, I'm screaming about the time. So we do have to wrap things up.
We can do that. You guys don't have anything else, do you?
Nope. I get to sit here and be cold.
Yeah, you do.
Right. Well,
I think it dropped.
Carl Douglas won the.
He did by a landslide.
By a landslide. I was totally not going to put that on there. I was like, no one's going to pick this. No one's going to pick this. And sure enough, it's a landslide.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I'm fine with it. It brings back memories from my childhood. Like I said, first record I ever bought. So, all right, let's get out of here. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember, the Minions are live every evening except Thursday, with most shows starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. That stream usually starts a half an hour before YouTube. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one, guys. I have a side request for you.
Okay.
I'm going to share his link to you. I'm going to teach you how to raid on Rumble. So all you got to do is put -raid, and then I'm going to give you a channel by the name of Hemp. I've been following him on Rumble, and he's very friendly. He actually helped me out with a lot of stuff on Rumble too. But if you just post dash raid and then that link, it'll raid Rumble into his channel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's nicer than YouTube.
I have no idea how to do raids.
Nope.
Well, now I do.
Awesome. All right. We're out. Good night.
See you guys.